So today, as you see, the topic is importance of total and integral transformation. Now, when we talk about transformation, in fact, it is the only word, transformation is the only word uh, which is very important in this integral yoga of Sri Aurobindo and the Mother, because it is nowhere to be found. Rupantar itu anpotu পোৱানো যায়. So when we talk about total and integral, then obviously one wonders why almost the same words are being used, total and integral. In fact, the Mother draws distinction between the two words. She says total is vertical. Vertical means one after another, the ascent from the lower to the higher ranges. And horizontal, as you know, it goes flatly. And she says that total is vertical, right from the lowest planes of our existence to the highest. We know very well that the physical, the vital, the mental are not the only levels of our being. In fact, beyond these three levels, there are a lot of other subtler levels of consciousness. One is more subtler than the other as we ascend, right from the higher mind, the illumined mind, the intuitive mind, the overmind, and even still beyond that, that is the unmanifest ones, which is existence, consciousness, and bliss. We all know about these things. So that is the vertical ascent. So when maybe we are not very much aware of these forces of these planes working in our being, in our mental, vital and physical being very distinctly, or we are not able to perceive it, but still these are in actions, and these are preparing us slowly and slowly, very slowly. And only when we become aware in our consciousness, although gradually it may take a lot of time, then only we can perceive a little bit only. So in that case, the effort for consecration of our whole being, entailing all these planes of consciousness, right from our your physical, through vital, through mental, and beyond all these higher ranges of consciousness, as we talked about just now, that is higher, from higher to the supermind, and also the triune aspect of the Satchidananda. So all these things, all these planes of consciousness are also involved, and we will have to, our effort will have to be towards that end only. But interestingly, that is not everything. In fact, the sadhana of surrender, of self-consecration, these must be done horizontally too. Horizontally means we'll have to engage, as we know very well, we'll have to means we always engage ourselves. We are put into such situations, such atmospheres, that we are bound to engage ourselves with people, other people, with collectivity, uh, from time to time always. And in this engagement, our mind is involved, our vital is involved, and our physical is also involved. So through all these engagements, all these interactions, all these works, we are always faced with different situations where normally what we do is exert our own uh, intelligence, our own support system, our own uh, your capacity, all these things. But that doesn't go very far, because at one point of time we all realize that we are not someone who has got all the abilities, all the capacities by which we can do anything and everything we want in our life. That is the crux, that is the juncture when we realize that there are higher, or definitely there are powers beyond our reach which are involved in our life. So that way, slowly and slowly, we are being led by the Divine Himself to understand that we will have to invoke the divine power, or rather the power of the Divine Mother herself, in all whatever we do. That is the lesson we learn slowly and slowly. Normally we do not learn all these things. We rely on our soul effort, on our soul capacity, on our intelligence, and if that is not enough, then we go for asking for some others, our friends or relatives, power, or whatever it is, the resource, to use it. But even these also get exhausted at one point of time. Then what happens? We do the act of surrender, even without knowing that I do not know. Some higher power must come into our help. So in these junctures, whenever we are engaged in these type of works, in different situations, different times, through our mind, through our vital, through our physical, it becomes imperative for us to call for the higher power to act through us, because as it is, we are led to the state of incapacity, and that is also the plan of the divine. So the Divine Mother herself creates situations in which engagement of all these three levels, that is mind, that is vital and physical, we confront situations, we try to solve the problems, or try to perfect ourselves in whatever we do, but finally we rely, or we are led to or compelled to rely on something higher, which will finally bail us out or help us out. So that way, when we see both these workings, that is growth in both these lines, that is vertical as well as horizontal, are necessary. আমি অকল ধ্যানত বহি বা বিভিন্ন ধৰণে আমাৰ স্পৃহাৰ মাজেৰে কেৱল আমাৰ সেই আমাৰ এক্সিষ্টিং যিবিলাক আমাৰ চেতনাৰ অৱস্থা আছে, তাতকৈ আমি ঊৰ্ধলৈ যাবৰ কাৰণে যিবিলাক হেৰি কৰোঁ, সেইবিলাকেই তাৰমানে অকলে এই ট্ৰান্সফৰ্মেশ্যনত সহায় কৰিব নোৱাৰে. ইনফেক্ট these are complementary to each other. Vertical ascent is vertical ascent is complementary to the horizontal also. It is only because of the conjunction, because of the harmonious complementing each other, then only it can be fruitful and our whole vessel becomes able to receive whatever is coming down from above, and on receiving it can be translated into action. So there's a beautiful passage of the mother. In fact, it is very much appropriate in our context. That is, when we talk about totality and integrality, that is vertical and horizontal growth. It is dated November 28, 1912, from the Prayers and Meditations. You will see the outer life, the activity of each day and each instant, repeating, the outer life, the activity of each day and each instant, is it not the indispensable complement of our hours of meditation and contemplation? And is not the proportion of time given to each the exact image of the proportion which exists between the amount of effort to be made for the preparation and realization, for meditation, contemplation, union is the result obtained, the flower that blooms. The daily activity here, we should make a mental note of this particular line. The daily activity is the anvil on which all the elements must pass and repass in order to be purified, refined, made supple and ripe for the illumination which contemplation gives to them. We cannot be satisfied with our meditation or contemplation only, because until and unless we go through the horizontal engagement of our mind, vital and physical, through which we experience different situations, we have to tackle a lot of things. All those things come in the horizontal, because when we do meditation, it is only us, between us and the planes of consciousness. There, nobody is there who will confront us. But when we come into the field, when we take up some kind of a work through our mind, through our vital, through our physical even, then the problem arises. The problem of harmony, the problem of lot of other things also from within us crops up. So until and unless we go through all these and realize what is the best way to tackle with, of course not with our ability but with the help of the divine, then it becomes totally different. So all these elements must be thus passed one after the other through the crucible before outer activity becomes needless for the integral development. Then is this activity turned into the means to manifest thee, so as to awaken the other centers of consciousness to the same dual work of the forge and the illumination. Therefore are pride and satisfaction with oneself the worst of all obstacles. Very modestly, I would request kindly to switch off the microphone. Someone is opening his microphone. Yes. So therefore, our pride and satisfaction with oneself, the worst of all obstacles. Very modestly, we must take advantage of all the minute opportunities offered to knead and purify some of the innumerable elements. We have so many elements in us, in our whole being, in all the three levels of our consciousness, that is mind, vital, and physical. So all these have to be purified through all these experiences, to make them supple, to make them impersonal, to teach them forgetfulness of self and abnegation and devotion and kindness and gentleness. And when all these modes of being have become habitual to them, then are they ready to participate in the contemplation and to identify themselves with thee in the supreme concentration. So the mother says that is why it seems to me that the work must be long and slow, even for the best, and that striking conversions cannot be integral. They change the orientation of the being, they put it definitively on the straight path, but truly to attain the goal, none can escape the need of innumerable experiences of every kind and every instant. That is why we are always put into such situations, into collectivity, where each one of us have to confront others, and even though there are conflicts, there are differences of opinions, arguments, we will have to bring or invoke mother's intervention to make all these conflict, all this disharmony disappear from us, and we need to establish harmony, then love and joy. Of course, it is very difficult, no doubt about it, but that is the only way, and she makes it possible for us to attain all those states, because it is intended by her only. So what we see here in her in this particular prayer, it is complementary, both contemplation, then your dhyan, meditation, all these are necessary, but at the same time different type of works, whatever comes on our way, when we try to work for the mother, everything comes in and we should accept it. And in fact, the more the nature of complexity that arises before us, the more the opportunity also, and more the power and capacities that are given to us to surmount the obstacles. Probably if we try to look at the whole world, not at our fraternity only, if we try to look at the world, all those upcoming generation, you will see that they are so much interested in taking up different sort of works, excelling in different fields. That way they are becoming versatile, and because they want it, because they want to develop themselves, to make themselves perfect in everything, whatever they do, they are also being given the power, because already the power, the consciousness, the supramental consciousness is brought down here in the earth atmosphere, and that is show that it is working its way out. And that is why we see, even without knowing, how and why all these things are taking place, which normally or which earlier we used to see as something very difficult or impossible feats to attain. Everything is taking place nowadays. These young children, they are excelling in all the fields they take up. It is only because of that. And it is more so, more pronounced in our fraternity. And if we know how to balance between the ascent, between the growth, vertical growth, and the horizontal growth, then it will be very clear for us and give us impetus also to go forward and take up whatever jobs, different kind of jobs that come on our way. And in fact, this two-sided work is perfected and continued even in the higher stages of yoga. And that way, we have been given the opportunity to grow in consciousness, keeping harmony between the two, the vertical and the horizontal. So we could not shun anything, the outer activities in which we engage. At least we are given the opportunity to engage ourselves through our mind, our vital, our physical, so that in doing so, our vital gets purified, channelized. Because the vital is also a force which can be channelized in divine work. Mental as it is, we can complement with different engagement with other people. And in the physical also, we can shrug off the tamas, which we call normally jarata. There's a tendency in us to stay put wherever we are. আমি শুই বহি কটাব ভাল পাওঁ, মানে য'ত যেনেকৈ আছোঁ তেনেকেই থাকি, in whatever situations we live, we try to be like that. But a time comes when we are given the opportunity and also the force to come out of this, shrug off all that which prevented us from being physically perfect. That is why we see in the ashram that right from the age of, right from tender ages, like 3-4 years, to all those people of the ages, in the ranges of 89-90, they are still doing exercises, different kind of exercises which might seem to be very impossible for a layman to go through. Why? Because that way Mother is preparing all these for their body to become supple, নমনীয় কৰিবৰ কাৰণে. And although we are not there in the ashram, but still we should try our best to make ourselves fit always. Not only fit, in fact, while exercising, we should have that attitude that our whole physical body can be an instrument of the divine. The subtlety, the suppleness should come into our being. Because finally, a time will come when this gross material body, which is, we can call the clay matter, as Sri Aurobindo has put himself, clay matter, and the grossness and the densest of it, that is the bone, all these will give way for a supple body, a lighted body. But for that to happen, we'll have to wait, and in meantime, we'll have to prepare ourselves. So that is why it is very important that both the movements, vertical and the horizontal, should go on together. And of course, this needs an instant vigil on our part. Vigil অৰ্থাৎ আমি সতৰ্ক হ'ব লাগিব যাতে কোনো ধৰণৰ পেছিভিটি নাহে আমাৰ মাজলৈ. It is indispensable, অপৰিহাৰ্য. So here to the direction of the effort is not merely upward, but it needs to be horizontal also. So both the movements should be there, and in proportion that we try to engage ourselves horizontally, in proportion to the extent we try to take the right attitude according to the Mother and Sri Aurobindo's guidelines, which have been given to us, laid before us, the ascent, the vertical ascent, will be complementary. That will support in the same extent. So whenever the time comes for the higher consciousness to come down and take possession of our beings in the three domains, mind, vital and physical, then our vessel also will have to be participative in that. In the three levels, we'll have to participate and support that to hold. That is why this is a preparatory movement. The horizontal movement, that is the preparatory one for holding whatever is coming down in future as higher consciousness with us. So that is what we have discussed today. So lot of people give importance in doing meditation or contemplation or prayers only, forgetting or maybe without knowing or without realizing even that both are equally important. In fact, as Mother says, it is more than necessary for us, and it is in fact work is 10 times more beneficial than doing meditation. Why does she say so? Because she has seen it. She has seen it in our being, that whatever comes from above, if our vessel is not ready, cannot support, then it can come and return. And we are not in a position to receive it. All the channels are somewhat blocked. But only through when we go through different types of works, different with the right attitude, with invoking the Mother's force in it and changing our attitude in different situations, changing our responses in given situations, then slowly and slowly our vessel in these three domains become receptive enough to receive the higher forces and manifest it equally in action. So that's it for today. If you have any questions, then you can put forward. Otherwise, you can close the session today. Thank you. Jai Ma.